Finance, Kemi Adeosun says the Nigerian economy is on the road to recovery, stressing that the prospects for the future remains positive. She was speaking in Lagos at the annual dinner organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, where she cleared the air around the country's external debt. Correspondent Tolulope Ogunjobi reports.
The Nigerian economy had returned to growth in the second quarter of 2017 after hitting red 5 times. The country exited recession with a growth of 0.72%, which was further consolidated with a growth of 1.40% and 1.92% in the third quarter and fourth quarter of last year. Nigeria's Minister of Finance at this gathering of chartered accountants in Lagos maintains that economic outlook for 2018 and beyond remains positive.
I think that Nigerians have gone through a very difficult adjustment and that we've adjusted very well. We've started to focus on the non-oil sector. We've started to grow other sectors of the economy, notably agriculture and solid minerals. We're seeing a lot of young people starting new businesses, becoming entrepreneurs, trying to create their own jobs. And we think if we continue in that direction, there's real hope for Nigeria. We've also started to address the problems of not paying taxes that are needed to let the government have enough revenues to really provide excellent public services. So I think really Nigeria is on the road to recovery and the prospects for the future are very strong.
Adeosun also spoke on the country's debt to gross domestic product GDP ratio.
Nigeria's debt to GDP is 20%. Most countries in Africa, so Ghana, for example, is at 60, Ethiopia's at 50, China's at 250. So a lot of countries have much higher debt levels than us. We're low, and we're going to stay low. We're going to grow our debt very conservatively. That's why you see us focusing on revenue and on taxes. We're not focusing on, okay, we need to keep on borrowing. We know that we had to borrow quite heavily to get out of the recession, and that was the right decision at the time. But now we're focusing more on revenues, which is why you're seeing more focus on tax, and you're seeing more focus on blocking the leakages and making sure that government revenues are fully accounted for.
For the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Services, Babatunde Fowler, efforts are being made to improve the country's tax to GDP ratio.
6% related to the tax revenue to GDP for 2016. For 2017, the Bureau of Statistics is still putting the figures together, and hopefully before the end of May, we should have to tell Nigerians what the current tax to GDP ratio is, but it's certainly more than 6%.
President of ICAN speaks on the motive behind the annual event.
The highlight of this night is to recognize outstanding personalities who have contributed immensely to nation building, to the accounting profession. And today we are recognizing quite a number of people. The Minister of Finance of Nigeria is a chartered accountant, and everybody has seen the role that she has played from 2015 to now, trying to push the Nigerian economy, especially when we went into recession.
The agreement here is that if the present investment in infrastructure and social welfare is sustained, revenue mobilization improved, stability in the foreign exchange market, Nigeria may attain the expected growth sooner than later. Tolulope Ogunjobi, TVC News, Lagos.